Hello, one and all. Good evening, good evening, good evening. How are you? We are going to be drawing the Unknown Soldier from DC Comics, probably a more modern version of him. So he's got a little bit more gear on him. I actually sort of like that with all the gear, but he's still got those bandages on his face. Nobody's here yet, so I don't even know who I'm talking to. Hello to whomever is here and watching. Hello, hello, hello to whomever has entered the realm of the unknown soldier. And happy Remembrance Day or Veterans Day or whatever it might be for you. Data honoring those that have died in war. Hello, people slowly coming in and watching. Hey, Cult of Raven. I don't know which member you are or whether you're all the members. Or it could be any of the members. But hello. How are you today? Cult of Raven. Hey, John. You gonna come on or can you, John? You do have the link. Still working? Uh, well, I think that's excellent for you. Make sure you're hitting the like button and sharing this out. Let's try and get a few more people in here. Hello, Sam's Corner. Thank you for the couple thumbs up there. Yeah, I decided to, well, sort of this morning out for my show earlier this afternoon, I decided to do this character from DC because of Remembrance Day here in Canada, remembering the soldiers that have fought, and Veterans Day. I will for sure, Sam's Corner. And it says, no, Rick, working 13 hours is extremely frustrating. For those that do not know, John works at delivering eggs. So that's why the egg puns. We like to extrapolate on it. I didn't say for who, where, what, why, when, or whatever. So that's egg on my face. It says Zadillert. Oh, John, if you didn't hear, you won this week's contest for the fan art contest because you were the only one to enter. Although this week's is, hey, Fire, how are you? Sorry I haven't gotten your thing to you yet, Fire. Just waiting on some money to come in to get the stuff out. Uh, stuff out. And auctions have been changed to for the next month. We're gonna test auctions out on Thursday night. I think 8 o'clock. Hopefully, people can make it. I don't know. I haven't thought about it for a while. I forget how much I said originally, all the different times. Well, whatever times, I don't know. Who's the character this week in your week? He is called the Ant. He's basically an almost an evil version of Iron Man. He's got an armory of different armors, and he based them on names that he gets from, the different type of ants that they're out there. Like this afternoon, there is what's called a ghost ant. So, for the first time ever, I created a new arm. Well, not the first time ever. I've created 3 different armors. His normal armor. Then I created a black armor because black ants, right? And then I created an army one because of army ants. Today I created, because there's ghost ants, I created the ghost armor. But what you can do this week in participating in the thing is create a whole new armor. You can create one of the ones that have already existed. I believe it was $4 for 30 seconds. I think it was a little bit more than that, Diller, but this week you can create, you can take a fire ant, the name fire ant, and create fire armor for him, or you can take the carpenter ant and create something around that, for armor for the ant. What I'm thinking for this armor, it's probably stealth or makes him intangible, maybe even invisible. But you don't have to really decide what it does. Yeah. And you can get to the bio on him too. Fine. Then you love Skinflint. How about $10 for 20, 45-second spots. And then, of course, there is the coloring contest going on, too. John drew something up, and it's basically to try and win a chance to color the Canadian Shield, #1. And if I make some money, we'll get money, but, you know. They're advertising whatever the person wants to advertise. Cult of Raven. Okay, how about $20 for 1 month of 2 plays during high noon and 1 play during every auction? Sounds good. You don't want any plays during these things? The 5 o'clock shadows? then late night. Although 5 o'clock shadow might be Thursdays might be done away with. I don't know. I'm doing an auction, changing the auctions to Thursdays, so for the month. Okay. Been a lot of action going on tonight here. Hopefully, I will be able to put some detail. Oh, hey, Rick, did you? I know where they are. I just haven't put them up yet. I guess I could put them up right now. Uh, or most of them, anyways. All the ones that were sent to me via PGN or whatever. PDF ones I might not be able to do right this second. Okay, so we still got to do the feed here, but we're gonna get on with the rest of the body at the moment. Oh, no, that's not fair. Not. I think at the moment there's just one that I can't put up because I need to get it out of a PDF. And that's yours and Dillard's. At least the pictures, anyways. Well, excuse me. So either later tonight or sometime tomorrow, I'll try and get that out. So there'll be one left. So right now there's one left to get up there. Yeah, I knew where they were all along, or basic idea. Took me a couple seconds to find where the folder was, but hey, shoo! Hey, shoo! Oh, what kind of nut job sends a PDF to a PGN file? You, Evan, or Dillard? Seeing as how the one that's in PDF format is yours, and Dillard's submission from that. It says That sounds like Dillard to me. I would never do anything like that. No, not at all. But I had people send in PDF format stuff from the last one. I just gotta figure out how I got it off again. It should it should be a rule: no PDFs allowed. It's not that much of a pain. Oh, we've got 3 entries in. I'm actually trying to do it myself. Although I probably shouldn't. I'm just trying to see whether I can do it myself. You should do a watercolor entry. Oh, I do digital. The main thing about this is you got to remember it's not that I want to win it. Is the coloring for the Canadian Shield number one? But the fact that we got 3 entries so far, we might get a few more by the end of November. I think is pretty positive. Now the question is, whoever the winner is, will they actually want to color the piece? For releases. Yeah, I gotta finish. I gotta do a little bit more to it. I might do a stream on Saturday. I was gonna do one last Saturday, but I didn't end up doing it. I want to do add a few more touches to that before I send it out to Dillard. And I'm thinking, what else am I thinking? I don't know what else I'm thinking. Oh, doing the mermaid pieces or piece. And I might be doing another piece that day too. Yeah, it's definitely a good experience. For one reason, not coloring it that way, because that's not how I'd be if I were to color the Canadian Shield. That's not how I'd be coloring it. You want to submit the entry the way that you would actually be doing it if you were going to do it. And why am I thinking I shouldn't submit? It's because, well, yeah, it might mean more money for myself ultimately, an extra $500, but there's the time involved. I'm going to have to probably December will be me setting up IndieCron, setting up the Indiegogo. I need to be able to focus on that while it's being colored. It shouldn't take me that long to put the words in, letter it. I can do that during the campaign. Hey, Metal, how are you doing? Yeah, so as I was saying, Evan, I'd really like to be able make sure everything's good to go for the 7th of January. And that's probably what December is going to focus on, making sure all that's ready to go. If I don't have to do artwork, yeah, I'll do something those days, but something that I'm not pressured on. Not that I'm feeling any pressure right now on anything, but I don't really want to feel a lot of pressure while doing it. I'm not completely sure, I must admit. You know, I'll probably have to work with the colorists a little bit, you know, letting them know what was going through my mind. Have you seen the entries yet? Have the entries or earlier today, this afternoon? And there's the thing too is I'm gonna try. I know exactly who did who here, but I'm trying to keep it. I want to keep it down to who's did who's when showing them at the end. This is the first one that was entered, and you know you could easily go to Dillard's probably thing and find out who did who. But and I really like this. I never when Dillard was doing this picture, I never really thought of the night. Hey, Nighthawk. And also that really intrigued me that they went with that for this. Now, I think this is a bit of a joke one, but I'm gonna take it serious at the same time. You know, they transformed um, Canadian Shield into Santa Claus, so I actually went Canadian Claus on this one on thing. And of course, they changed the moose into a Rudolph. So yeah, it's a bit funny. I think it's a bit of a joke. The only thing that concerns me about this one, and it's done really good, And again, they did it at night. I like how the light's coming up over the mountain here. The only thing that concerns me is for the person that did this one, if they did this one, if they colored it, if well, they actually want to color it, but if they did, would they treat it serious in coloring it? And of course, this is the last one, and this looks like it's becoming sunset, dawn, or whatever. There wasn't a specific time of day when me and Dillard created it, and when I saw the one without the fire, I thought it makes sense. But he could be making that to eat, so it could be any time of day. He could be stopping to eat. It probably would be in the evening, but I never thought of any particular time of day. I like how this one's a little bit more light out too. This is not an actual scene from the thing, but could easily be at the same time. I like how the shadows are there. There's different things that I like about each one of these. Yeah, not late night, maybe just after dusk. But yeah, like I said, all three of these are excellent colored, in my opinion. I don't want to take nothing away from the coloring. Any of the guys that did this. Okay, so that stuff is shown off. Yeah. Like they said, there's stuff in all of them that I like. And then I'll probably be me, Dillard, and I think Bullet will be going over all this stuff of all the things when that sort of thing. I can tell you right now, just with those three, it will be hard to decide, in my opinion. But I want more. I want more. I do more. Don't look at him. Start over. I hope to have one in on sometime Saturday or Sunday, Nighthawk. Greedy, but and as long as things go well, I'll actually probably be drawing mine up live on Saturday afternoon. Shouldn't it be coloring one of the pages for the contest? Oh, you mean uh, you mean like one of the pages from the book? Yes and no, but this way this gives a wide variety of what's in the book, Evan. That way, I can tell us judges can most hopefully tell how well they can do a moose, how well they can do the shield. How well they can do the background, fire, all sorts of things like that. John should hold a contest too. John Dillard's Headless Ninja Fan Art Coloring Contest. Fan art and coloring contest. Mermaids optional. I'm a whole topless mermaid drawing contest. Bottoms optional. So if the bottom's optional, if they just hand in the topless part, wouldn't that make it a corpse, John? Like half a person corpse? I mean, since the bottom of a mermaid is a fish, part. Just draw the human half popped out of the water with the fish half concealed by the ocean. Yeah, there's always that too, eh? Oh yes, people. Whatever ridiculous. Just so you know, we have this up for auction all week long. Starting bid is $10. And it's going till Friday at by the end of the show. Biggest bid wins. All you gotta do is put $10 confirmed to start it. And I'm not sure what else to say. It's not about tickling my fancy either. I'm just being my technical self. And that reminds me, the Sunday night auctions have been put over to Thursday night. So might not have Thursday's Marvel drawing. I don't know because it just means no notifications go out for the auction if I do the drawing Thursday. Marvel. And I'd rather the auction stuff go out. And we're going to be trying that for a month. It should be starting at 8 o'clock Thursday evening. Dylan says, I will be auctioning off a topless mermaid painting this Thursday. Okay, later, Nighthawk. Have a good night. Well, I'll be going. I'll be hanging. It will go over the poker table to cigar room, game slash cigar room. I don't have one of those, so so what do people think of my unknown soldier? Hey, Eagle. It's evoking some sort of emotion in me. What sort, I'm afraid, is unknown, says the metal. I don't know, Eagle. I know what I can do right now. I don't have some time to waste, so I won't be robbing anybody of time here. If John doesn't compete, then that forces me to compete, which means I'll have to draw Dillard as my primary subject. That could be scary, Metal. Dillard as a merman. Even worse, as a mermaid. Prepare to be scared. Not to the Discord. That's where Cat and Raven talk about CrossFit. Could always, since it's Cat's contest, you could always put it on her timeline. She should pin a message to the top of her thing. Her Twitter. Is the Discord dead again? Yes, it is. CrossFit is one of those things where you never have to ask if someone's into it. Don't worry, they'll let you know. Yep, probably. I love it when people tell me things about things I never asked about. Eagle says, Evan, Shadow might get a Netflix show. And Evan says, cool. Oh, there's one of those things that you weren't asking about, Evan, that somebody told you. Are you glad he told you? Fantastic. You hear that, Eagle? He's ecstatic to know that The Shadow might be coming out on Netflix. Does that make you ecstatic as well? Flit! Exclamation. Hey, Flit, how are you? Rick, I'm starting to think no one in the cult of Raven likes The Shadow. I would give you a silly idea like that. Middle says, I like the shadow. I'm just can't stand the ecstatic. I can't get ecstatic about the Netflix announcements. I have to stay lukewarm until I can actually watch and see how good or bad it is. Yeah, that's always a thing too. Wanting to see how good or bad something is before you get ecstatic about it. True, if it's gonna happen. Boom, 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 boom. Uh, it's still just a rumor, but it explains the pulling of the license. I see a shadow. I see a shadow, not the shadow, for Netflix. Love the old radio dramas though. I need to get the pictures for these, so I know I'm doing them justice. Good things came out of it. Dynamite no longer has comic book rights. Well, I don't think it's about them having comic book rights or not. Um, the Shadow's so old, I wouldn't think licensing would be anything. As far as I know, it's not under copyright, so they could still produce them. Was talking about is that they will have the right if you're not making them enough money to completely delete your video library and prevent you from upping videos. I'll probably be downloading most of my library soon. Uh, we in Canada we only have 50 years to deal with versus the US 95 web server. We could do anything we like with old school truck. Yeah. No, they were talking about the Shadow and Dynamite doing the comic book of it. And I was just saying, and that apparently they were saying something about license being pulled. From Dynamite, so Netflix might be able to do a series. So I was thinking it was public. It would have been public domain. Conda Nast. Lord of the Rings was created in the late 1940s, thus in the 90s public domain versus publication like 10 years later in the 50s. New lawsuit if US passed NAFTA, going to, which isn't going to now, would have corrected that added 75 years to term. I had a serious discussion about Trek doing proper the original series, but no Americans could see it. I can't up it to YouTube. Yeah, you need the Canadian YouTube. Create Canadian YouTube and upload it. Something that's based in Canada. YouTube that's based in Canada. Uh, uh, Copyrights last the entire life of the creator plus 75 years to remain in their estate after they died. Gibson died in 1985. Crown also saying not in Canada. Music is 75 years. Early medical. In TV and film, it's 50 years from the date of creation, not publication. Well, only 70 right now. But Disney is pushing for another 5 at the moment. Always are. Yeah, because this stuff's always going to be coming up. I have actually already. Also, if it's in public domain now, it stays there even if they change it now. Need to get my thing for this so I can do it right. Pictures. You could look at Tolkien as a perfect example. He created Lord of the Rings in the 40s and did not publish it till much later. And some of the stuff not till after he died. Disney can't change laws in Canada. Haha. I tried. Well, they could try. They could lobby us to try and change laws here in Canada. Kronos. But they probably do focus more on the states than here. Uh, the most they could do is coerce a country to respect the copyright conditions of the country it was created in. Though good luck, because China ignores every nation's copyright laws. I'll be right back, folks. Gotta check on something. Not that far away, Dillard. Uh, uh, have all of them. Okay. Might get my Robin. Might finish this later, maybe next week. I've got some more on it, so that's good.
It's cold in here.
Yeah, I probably got a window open. I gotta check later.
Close the rest of the windows.
Yeah, I'm still in there, you know.
So what?
So what? She doesn't care.
Who are you on air with?
7 people. Kronos, Dillard, the Metal, maybe Eagle and Evan. I don't know for sure. Although I might close it down a few minutes early. It's almost 7. Which is what I'm supposed to go to. Poor Flit. Always forgot. Not always. I was going with a lot of names that were on screen. Flit. The only one that wasn't on my screen was Evan. And you never know who's gone, gone, who's lurking. So yes and no, Kronos. Um, this is all the Robins. Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, Timothy Drake, Stephanie Brown, and Damian Wayne. Although I should probably made him a bit smaller, being in the background there. I did this last week on my show, and I didn't get to put any blacks in, so I'm slowly putting the blacks in. I need to look at the positions that they were in to see how things were. But yeah, it's 56. I think I'll end for now. So, people, remember, this is up for grabs all this week. Stephanie Brown's your favorite. Canadian She-Alt. Now Chandra coming soon to comes. I laugh out loud. So this is up for grabs for $10. Starting at $10. This is gonna be on all week. This is the piece of the week I'm auctioning off. So hopefully at this point, some point, Friday, by the end of Friday's show, if it's whoever has the highest bid wins. If nobody bids, nobody wins, obviously. So remember to check out the links. For those that don't like Patreon, I now have Subscribestar. If you want to support the channel in that way. Discord's in there, I believe, and the access to the picture on my website is there too for the coloring contest. And I think that's it. Also, check out my merch store. And I guess we will see you tomorrow at noon. Bye for now. God bless. Have a great and wonderful day. God bless. Love you all.